How are you supposed to know if you're not dealing with a twin flame? So this video is not about what is a twin flame, but what is a twin flame not. Okay, let's dive right in. A twin flame would never be a toxic connection. So if you're dealing with somebody who is mistreating you in any way, physically, emotionally, it is not a twin flame. That would be more a karmic connection. Why? Because in order to attract a twin flame, you will already have needed to achieve some kind of ascension, not like very high necessarily, but a twin flame is a very high frequency connection, and then you can only attract something that matches your own frequency. So if you're still very low vibrational, which means a ton of shadow, then you won't be able to attract a true twin flame. You will still have shadows, don't worry about that. There will be shadows when you attract them. But if you would, for example, if you were abused as a child or whenever, and you would not attract a twin flame, and they would abuse you as well. So if you would attract somebody who is abusing you in any kind of way, then you attracted a karmic situation. And please be mindful, when I say karmic, I differentiate between personal karma and individual karma. Personal karma, I rarely ever seen it, and I've been coaching for 17 years, would be two souls that have karma with each other. That could be like if in a past life one person murdered the other. Not every person where it didn't turn out in a past life would automatically be a karmic connection, because imagine like how many people in this life wanted you and you didn't want them, or vice versa, and they all would be karmic partners. Now, no, it's not like this. Karma is something very severe. What happens more often is that we have like general karma. For example, if you have experienced some kind of loss, or let's say you have been abused physically, for an example, and you have not healed that wound, then it is likely that you would attract another person to physically abuse you. Or if you have been cheated on, you have not healed that, then you would attract another person to cheat on you. Because that's not the other person, it's you attracted them, because that is still a frequency within you. It's like a radio signal, like a satellite pointing, no, satellite is receiving, right? But it's like a signal you're sending out, and you attract people who are in this kind of frequency because they can subconsciously feel this kind of signal. So if you have been cheated on, then you would attract the cheater. If you have been abused, you would attract the abuser, if you still have that frequency within you. You can clear that frequency, however. An amazing technique would be revision. You will find amazing channels on YouTube when you type in Neville Goddard and revision. I'm planning to do videos on that as well in the future. But any kind of method, Ho'oponopono, another amazing method. You can use those tools in order to get rid of that frequency, okay? And then you will attract somebody who would not do that to you again. And still, even if you have cleared like the massive things, you know, like the abuse and the cheating, the big trauma, and then you could attract a twin flame then, because they won't be as low vibrational to do that to you, like physical, mental, or even sexual abuse. That is not a twin flame energy at all, because you need to remember, a twin flame is a divine counterpart, and doing something like this is far from divine energy, okay? But a twin flame would still mirror your stuff back to you. Let's say, so you have been abused physically as a child, and you have cleared the abuse, so you would not attract somebody who would do that. But there is more to that. Maybe you have boundaries set up as a protection because you needed to survive, right? And so you are very cautious in whom you let close, and maybe you have this avoidant kind of relationship style, and then you would attract somebody who is not available. So there is still wounds, and not the abusive wounds anymore, but things that were connected to that. And that could be a twin flame, that they show you, look, you're not healed yet, and maybe you're not in self-love. For example, if you have been abused in any way, that kind of damages your self-worth. Let's be honest, especially if it was when you were a child or any time. Somebody is doing something to you, but again, that is very important. It is never like somebody is doing something to us. We make our choices before we come here. Okay, some of us are born with more contrast, more difficulties, because contrast is propelling you forward. Imagine like a bow and an arrow. The further you draw it back, the faster and further you can go forward. Okay, so the more trauma you have had as a child, it can be like a tool for your soul in order to ascend even higher. So you either break if you don't use that, or you can alchemize it and you can get further than anybody who has not been through this shadow. Okay, very important. So don't see yourself as damaged. Yes, something happened to you. Your soul chose that because your soul wanted to experience greater highs. But in order to experience like the highest highs, you have had to been through the lowest lows. Unfortunately, that is how it is. So your soul chose that. And that is why forgiving the other person is important. We never forgive for the other person. We forgive for ourselves in order to make peace. So if you have experienced that, it will have damaged your sense of self-worth naturally, because you were not treated well when you were a kid. So you cannot attract somebody who treats you like the king or queen you are. You first have to get into this energy by reprogramming your mind, by doing the work, by alchemizing, by stepping into your power. And when you have done that, and it may take a while, but that's okay, and then you attract somebody who shows you how amazing you are. So if you have been through like the worst parts already and you still have issues, you would, for example, attract a twin flame, and they would mirror that back to you by not showing you how amazing you are. They would not tear you down and tell you suck. You know, that's not twin flame energy, but they would not show you how amazing, gorgeous, whatever you are. Or if you have fear of abandonment, they would not give you stability, because they have to be absent to show you have that fear, so you can make it conscious. And when you made it conscious, then you can push through it and you can work on it. And that is why the awakening, the ascension is that important. That is why we attract somebody who will show us our shadows and our old karma. And again, karma for me is only something that is unhealed within ourselves. Karma is an inner imbalance. It's not a kind of punishment from spirit or anything like that. It simply is an own inner imbalance that we need to balance out. And when we balance the energy within us, then our twin flame will mirror that back to us. And when you learn to be in self-love, and self-love does not equal narcissism, you're talking about healthy self-love. We're not talking about, because a narcissist who would look down on others, that is not divine energy. Because somebody who is ascended realizes, wow, I am my own individuality, I am amazing, and I am awesome, I am special, but everybody else is too in their own way. I am special, but so is that person. They're just special in another way. And you will feel connected, but you will still have your own sense of individuality. So that is what I'm talking about. You see your own worth, but you also see everybody else's worth. Okay, that is divine energy. Distorted energy would see self-worth, but not other people's worth, because then that's not what we're talking about. We aim to feel that connection to source, and everybody is connected to source, so we cannot put ourselves above another person. That is not divine energy. But once you have achieved that and you know that you are amazing, then guess what? Your twin flame is coming back in and they show you that you're amazing. If you have cleared those fears of abandonment, guess what? They're coming with commitment. So it is basically on you, and that is amazing, because it means you're not the victim, you are the conscious creator of your life. And when you actively work on healing that trauma, healing those wounds, you will ascend. Imagine like there is a room full of light and there's black smoke in it, and you're getting rid of the smoke more and more and more and more, which means the light can shine even brighter. And that is what's happening with our energy bodies. The brighter we get, then we attract people who are bright as well, and who see our brightness and mirror the brightness back to us, because they will transform as well. So often many of my clients say, well, he is not coming, when is he coming? And I'm saying, no, how long the journey takes, it depends on the feminine, because the feminine, we manifest, we have to step into our energy, into our alignment, and then we draw them in. They're not coming when we're still out of alignment. It's just not happening. And they will mirror our trauma back to us until we have dealt with it. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. So roll up your sleeves and get to work. If you need help, I am available for coaching. And yes, I do wish you all the best. Yeah, check out my other content, and you got this. Bye-bye.